Here we go, middle of the cage right now.
Again, southpaw versus orthodox.
Manabat with the black and yellow. Calzada wearing all black. 10th and white laced in. And the two stand right now, middle of the cage. 30 seconds into this fill-out process. Again, we're going 5 3-minute rounds.
Desmond's doing a very good job attacking that front leg of Noah early on. I just think that, again, long-term investment. Especially against a southpaw versus an orthodox, it's something that you like to lose because it's there. Beautiful trip. Beautiful trip.
There's no question that right out of the gate, Manabat has had control. We saw the overhand right early on in the round that did connect. Maybe the first, maybe even only score to this point in time outside of the trip. Manabat's been the aggressor, though, Zach, coming out of here.
His last fight, same thing. Walked forward a lot of punches, a lot of kicks, mixes it up very well. Very methodical and surgical the way that he tries to pick apart his opponents as he's walking forward to him.
Look at the facial expressions, too, of Manabat. They haven't changed one bit. You don't want to play poker with Manabat, that's for sure.
Hey, you're down in Vegas. They probably have a lot of practice.
That time again coming in with a solid right hand that did connect on Calzada.
Now Manabat is doing some beautiful footwork here, switching from orthodox to southpaw. That right hand that landed, switch stances lands that right hand, which is his power hand. And you can switch back and forth. That could be a little bit tricky for somebody like Noah, who maybe doesn't have as much experience training or fighting with somebody with those abilities.
Been super impressed with the head movement of Manabat as well in the first 2 minutes of this bout. Well past the midway point. Oh, there's another solid right hand coming in from Manabat.
Big overhand right. He's really sizing him up now, using some angles beautifully.
He has definitely controlled the cage so far. Again, the head movement. He's controlled distance, controlled pace as well. 2 minutes and 17 seconds into round number 1.
Man, if I'm Noah's corner, I'm looking for him to start using some of his range and his reach advantage. Maybe some front teeps. I don't know if that's part of his game, but it's something like it could be there because Manabat is getting too close and too comfortable with some of those big power shots.
I believe we see blood over the left eye of Calzada here in the opening round. 20 seconds to go. Manabat once again well in control of the cage for the first near 3 minutes of this fight. Goes right back with the straight right hand, backs up Calzada.
Noah seems to be enjoying himself quite a bit. Smiles still. I don't know. I don't know how to think about it like that. That's not me.
Well, you heard the clicks, and that'll take us to the end of round number 1 that appeared to be, I don't want to say dominated, but the pace was well set by Desmond Manabat, who looked to be in control. Again, the head movement surprised me. The overhand right, by far the most effective strike throughout that first 3 minutes.
Desmond used beautiful footwork, used a lot of low kicks to set up some of those power shots as well. Landed a lot of clean overhand rights. If I am Noah's corner right here, you got to give him something to start building off of because he just didn't really seem like he could get whatever his offensive game plan is. Desmond pretty much shut it down with his pressure and his offense. If you're Noah going into the second round, you got to figure out some offense and how to get some things going in your way. Desmond can kind of tidal wave you a little bit, where if he feels that he gets flowing, he's going to start pouring it on, and it's just going to. The more the fight goes on and he gets more comfortable here, Desmond could really take control of this fight.
We're set for the second 3-minute integral of this fight. Desmond Manabat and Noah Calzada. This is for the Fierce Fighting Championship Bantamweight Amateur title.
Right away, Noah. Right away with the game plan.
You mentioned Desmond Manabat in that opening round going to the lower leg kicks to kind of set the pace, right? Kind of set the distance, and he was able to take advantage up top. Goes right back to it here, Zach, to start the second round.
I mean, when you got those big thighs that Desmond has, like, of course kicks are going to be a heavy part of your game. He's got those big, heavy thighs. He's going to be throwing a lot of kicks. But his right hand keeps finding that home. I hear Noah's coaches saying, we need to execute our game plan. I'm not totally sure what it is yet because it kind of feels like this is Desmond's style of fight that he wants to be fighting in.
And he did draw some blood. Looks like it was over the right eye of De La Calzada. Excuse me, over the left eye of Calzada. We saw that in the opening round, and once again, boy, very, very powerful right hand from Manabat.
He's sharp with it. It lands, and it's finding its home very well. Noah, he smiles at him, and he's having fun in there, and he's having a good time, and I just think that's his personality from having him talk to him before the fight. It's his personality going there and enjoy himself.
Typically, the grin is when it stings a little bit, right?
Yeah, unless they actually enjoy it. And Noah is the type of guy that I think he enjoys in there, and he's in there competing. Now, some of those shots are starting to wear on his face a little bit. Beautiful body kick by Noah. And
may have been the most effective, well, it was the most effective strike that we've seen to the body all fight long.
Desmond just comes right back with a huge leg kick of his own, really opens up his hips beautifully to generate a lot of power and pressure behind that. And then again, that right hand finds its home again.
You got to be impressed with the composure of Manabat so far in this fight.
Absolutely. Again, we've seen that, and now Noah's bleeding out his nose. He's got to get some stronger offensive some longer combinations. Maybe clinch with him a little bit, get some of that energy out of his arms, because that right hand is landing flush way too much.
We are seeing some blood trickle from the nose of Noah De La Calzada. It's starting to pour as the fight is right in front of us. We're down a minute. We're down to about 45 seconds here in the second round. Again, it's scheduled to go 5 for the bantamweight crown. The amateur bantamweight weight class, that is, at Fierce Fighting Championship.
This is getting dangerous. I just noticed. Noah keeps looking down at Desmond's feet. He's very conscientious of those kicks. They're adding up. And when he starts looking down at those kicks and trying to keep his high guard, you're going to get caught with a punch you don't see coming if you're looking down too far. You really want to be kind of looking at the chest area where you can see the whole body with your peripheral vision.
10-second click.
Big body shot by Desmond.
Fight comes right up to us. He landed that with the right hand down to the body. And again, the body shots have been very effective for Manabat as we go to the end of round number 2. Zach, I would ask you how you would score this so far. I don't see any other way other than 2 rounds for Manabat.
It's 2-0 Manabat. I don't see it any other way, like you said. If you're Noah, your coaches, you have to get some offense off starting right here, because you lose this round, now you have to go for a finish, right? And not only do you have to win this round, but you have to do it convincingly, and the next 3 rounds all extremely convincingly to try and take it out of the hands of the judges, because you've got to assume right here you are down 2 rounds to nothing.
One of the things I've observed, though, what makes that so difficult, is that when you look at Manabat, he's a guy that can attack on the counter. I mean, his footwork has been beautiful. His head movement has been beautiful. But that's tough by the time you get to round number 3 to adjust to something like that.
It is time to adjust, but if he's going to stand and strike with him, dude, forget all that nonsense. Fix it. You got to mix it up, because this is MMA, and they're just kickboxing right now. And that is where Manabat wants this fight, and it's where he's winning this fight and controlling this fight. If you're Noah, clinch, grapple, go for a takedown, something.
The blood continues to trickle from the nose of Noah De La Calzada. We go to round number 3. It's a fight that so far tonight, Desmond Manabat has been in control.
Very good. Very aware, as Noah at least trying something, getting something different. Wasn't this a successful takedown? Now you're zapping some of that energy out of Desmond's arms, hopefully.
Now we're starting to see the confidence grow from Manabat, who swapped up Ray Jones Jr. style there for a moment with his hands behind his back. I mean, he's just oozing with confidence as we hit the 30-second mark in round number 3.
I don't know about you. Somebody does that to me in a fight, I'm going to start swinging to take their head off. I'm not liking that. Noah, a lot more composed than I am, I think, because he's sticking to his game plan. He lands a stiff left and a followed with the right.
Nice combination that go around. Continue to move through, nearing the 1-minute mark in round number 3. Down to the ground goes De La Calzada.
Now, De La Calzada's right leg is compromised from those low calf kicks. We're seeing him move a lot more gingerly on it, and it kind of just gave out on him a little bit. That nerve in that calf, it starts getting shut off, and it's hard to operate with. And you can see he doesn't like it, and he's trying to get out of the way with it, switching stances even. Telltale sign.
Manabat can sense it as well. Got him up against the cage. There's a combination, lands a left down to the body. Now backing off into the middle of the cage.
And that's really too bad for Noah, because he was kind of finding his mojo a little bit there, but that damage has been done to that lower right leg.
Manabat comes in with a solid right. The overhand right has been effective. There's the stiff left once again coming in from De La Calzada.
Noah is getting his offense off in this round finally, and I don't know what exactly is causing that, if it's just being more aggressive, but he is being a lot more active and kind of getting it going a little bit. I would like to see him try and clinch again and maybe hang out on the cage a little bit, because I think he is winning this round so far.
It's the first time that we have seen the blood, at least from my perspective, affect De La Calzada. He's been bleeding since basically round number 1. Well, that was the first time that I noticed him check the blood in the middle of the cage.
When it's pouring out of your nose like that, it's just it starts it starts messing with your breathing. It starts messing with everything else, and it's going to get slick too. Another thing that's going to be harder for that hurts. Clash knees and shins there, where they both throw a kick at the same time.
Down to about the final 30 seconds roughly of round number 3. De La Calzada showing some signs offensively. It's by far been his most effective round out of the 3 that we have seen up to this point. Manabat still seems to be in control right now in the center of the cage.
You're coming here you're going to hear a clapper here in a second, and if you know it, I'd go for something big, because I think he is doing more in this round. I don't know who win it. I feel like this round was more of a toss-up. He needs to make a stamp on a round, just like Desmond just did, right? Desmond's pushing at the end of the round, trying to put his stamp on the end of the round. When you hear that clap, especially in a close round, you want to leave those images in the eyes of the judges at the end of the round and say, yeah, it's pretty close. Desmond at the end of the round, closing the distance, trying to land the big shots. Experience by Desmond. Noah's getting his offense flow going a little bit. At this point, though, it's like probably needs a finish to feel comfortable.
I don't think it's set in stone, but that was the most competitive round that we've seen up to this point. There's no question.
Absolutely.
Again, this is the third bout tonight, number 3 of 9. Noah De La Calzada going up against Desmond Manabat. This bout is brought to you by Wilco Supply, a leader in industrial and commercial supplies throughout the state of Utah. You can check them out at wilco.biz. Tell them the FFC sent you.
Noah's still smiling. He's having fun. Again, keep watching that right leg. I think it's compromised. But if he can push through that and get more of build on what he got going in the third round, I think we could see Noah get some success. Changes levels there. They're so sweaty at this point, though.
Right.
And the blood doesn't help either.
It becomes slick.
It's slick.
Yep.
And you have to get a really strong body lock on to take him down. Again, I think it's where Noah wants to take this fight. At this point, I don't know if he can get it there.
So the fight's in the middle of the cage. There's been no doubt that has favored Manabat, who lands a very solid left right to the side. And the body shots have been effective, too.
Absolutely. He's going after the body now again. Investing in that long term. It's a 5-round fight. Desmond's been here before, and he's doing all the right things.
How difficult is it for an amateur to commit to the body, knowing that it's a 5-round fight, knowing that you're not going to see the immediate impact? Yeah, it takes discipline.
Discipline and experience. You just don't see it. We saw it in the first fight, right? 0-0 guy versus 2-0 guy. Pretty much no body shots. They were just going for headshots, going for knockout. Desmond, 8 amateur fights, really investing to the leg, really investing to the body. Not everything isn't 100% to the top.
Calzada tried to go down to the ground. Manabat did a terrific job of fending that off. We're about 1:15 now into round number 4 of Schedule 5. We have seen the offensive tempo slow down just a tad from Manabat.
Yeah, and you got to expect that because, the output's huge. And he's doing this again. He's trying to bait him, right? He's trying to bait him.
Trying to counter. And we talked about it. The idea of countering with the head movement and the footwork, where Manabat has had an advantage. That time comes in with a flurry, a combo. Lands 2 of 3. Now a kick goes up high by De La Calzada.
Beautiful leg kick right there. Just really just digging in on that thigh muscle.
See the combos get off here from Manabat here in round number 4. 2 minutes gone by in round number 4. Manabat has had control once again. Starts with the solid right, comes in with a left. Not a ton of damage, but able just to control the reach, control the tempo of this fight as we get down to the final 45 seconds or so in round number 4. Again, the bantamweight title on the line here for Fierce Fighting Championship at the Maverick Center. Definitely been entertaining. I don't believe we've gotten out of the ground one time. Here we are in round number 4.
Noah's trying, but Desmond's just not having any of it. He's doing a fantastic job of implementing. Wow, I'm having a hard time saying that word. He executing his game plan.
Sure.
Right. This is what Noah wanted to do, and this is where he wanted to fight, and he's doing a fantastic job of executing and keeping the fight where he wants it.
Spinning back kick. You heard it with some authority as we go to the end of round number 4. Desmond Manabat seems to be in control. One more round to determine the bantamweight title. And if there was any question going into round number 4, I don't believe there is now. Noah de la Calzada has to go with a finish if he wants to get a victory in this one.
Best case scenario, he's down 3-1.
Best case scenario, no.
Probably 4-0.
No.
Makes it tough. Makes it hard. You haven't been able to get any of your game plan off. What, as a corner, what advice can you give your fighter that you're basically going for a Hail Mary in your 5th round here? Those body locks and things it aren't working. If I'm Noah or I'm Noah's corner, got to get him up against the cage to try and get a body lock for that takedown, because out in the middle, it's just not cutting it.
So let me ask you as a fighter, when you know going into the final round that you have to have that Hail Mary, how difficult is that? And you prep for that. How do you prep?
It's hard because the other guy knows it too. Desmond knows it too, right? And great sign of sportsmanship here. But, Desmond knows it too. He just can't get caught. And he can kind of coast. He can stay on the outside, pick his shots, not really engage.
Final 3 minutes, round number 5. Desmond Manabat, Noah de la Calzada.
It sounds like that's what his coaches want him to change levels, and they want that. It's really hard, too, with all the kicks that Desmond throws, to take a good shot, because one thing you got to be careful of, if those kicks are coming up as you're changing levels down, even though head kicks and knees are illegal shots as amateur in Utah, if he throws it, it isn't aiming for the head, but your head gets in the way, then it becomes legal. So you got to be careful.
Manabat may be in control, but he is still walking down de la Calzada. The head movement has just been so impressive to me in this bout. Manabat has just been on point as this fight is, for the most part, taking place in the middle of the cage, yet to go down. The two exchange blows as we hit the 1 minute mark in round number 5. To get a combination, all starting with that right hand by Manabat.
And if you're Desmond here, he's doing what he needs to. He's walking in, got a good angle, landed a couple shots, circle out, back to the center of the cage. He's not going to engage in this cage work where Noah is trying to get him to come into. He's just staying so disciplined. His experience level looks like it's just going to be a little bit too much for Noah to overcome in this fight.
And you talked about Manabat going 5 rounds. You've seen him do it before. When you're seeing the level of oomph that these combinations have, there's no doubt that he's well prepared for 5 rounds. As once again, he backs De La Calzada up and delivers a solid blow to the midsection that definitely affected Noah. Manabat once again in control, another combination.
Going back to the body, Desmond Manabat showing some beautiful boxing. That's your world.
Well, he has been fantastic tonight. It has been a thing of beauty as we hit near the 2 minute mark in the 5th and final round. The body work, like the savings account, just building. We're seeing it pay dividends right now for Manabat.
I mean, Desmond, again, doing the right things. He's not rushing anything. He's not putting himself in danger. He's standing close, but he's standing where he's comfortable and he's safe.
Manabat now once again going defenseless, putting his hands behind his back, attempting to just bait De La Calzada. He is in control as we reach the final 30 seconds of round number 5. Maybe looking for a clean sweep. Maybe he took all 5 rounds. We know for sure he took 3 out of the first 4. Once again, he goes down to the body. That time starting with the left, working over with the right hand. It has just been a thing of beauty, and he is walking De La Calzada down, a sign of confidence, knowing that he has this fight in the bag. He's not staying away. He's going for it. Delivers once again to the midsection.
Desmond has been really impressive this entire fight. You could just tell, get a little sweat in my eyes there. That was beautiful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, This Bantamweight Championship fight for the Fierce Fighting Championship goes all 5 rounds. Richard Montanez scores this fight 45-50. Stephen Farragher scores it 44-50. And Dennis McMahon scores it 44-50. For your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Desmond Manabat, the new Fierce Fighting Championship Bantamweight Champion. Desmond, that was an excellent fight. You went all 5 rounds, a lot of kicks. What were you doing to his legs? You were hurting his legs. Was that part of the plan, was to work on the legs?
Yeah, of course. Captains always work on wrestlers. We've seen that in the past. Emphasize leg kicks, and he wasn't checking them, so I just kept throwing them.
What were some of your thoughts on how the training went and how you actually executed that plan?
My training came out super well. For you guys who don't know, I fought last February. My best friend died February 5th at 11:06. I came off a month off the couch. But yeah, that just kept pushing me when I wanted to quit. I kept going and going and going. And I'd like to thank Donovan Britt. Without him, everything and nothing at the same time.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your Bantamweight champion. He has one thing to say.
Scott Coker, you don't know the Matrix, aka Desmond Manabat. I'm gonna start waiting to shine. I want to build it down, grow MMA as a whole. If you know where to get me, we're at 1122 Vista Drive. You can find me at Twitter at DesiFresh702 and contact Donovan Britt. I want to sign with you guys.
The Fierce Fighting Championship Bantamweight Champion, Desmond Manabat.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Fierce Fighting Championship on YouTube. For more daily content, make sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss any of our daily fights, podcast clips, highlights, as well as our full weekly podcast. If you want to tune into one of our live shows, go ahead and head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com.